I'm Charles McCain. The book I'm going to review now is called Bismarck, The Final Days of Germany's Greatest Battleship. There are a number of books on the Bismarck. Each of them is good in their own way, but they're all slightly different, and I'll review all of them as time goes on. This one is really the latest. It's a narrative history, and narrative history really is when an author is able to, well, not interview people in this case, but take their words and things they said to other people, things from letters, and really tell the story from the point of view of the people that were there. There are so many mysteries, even today, about the Bismarck because these extremely well-trained officers aboard the Bismarck made a series of mistakes which just seem inexplicable. The Bismarck, and this is just one that I won't go into this in more detail, but they stopped at a port in Norway as they were breaking out into the Atlantic, and the number one rule in those days was to refuel the ship. Any chance you had to refuel your ship, you did, but they didn't. And that was just completely, it was like, why didn't they do that? Because that ended up being a pretty critical problem for them. So there are a whole series of things like that, and you're kind of like, well, why didn't they do this, and why didn't they do that? After their battle with the Hood, after they sunk HMS Hood had gotten a couple of shots into them, and the ship was down about 70 points by the bow. And if they had dropped the cut the anchors off, it would have raised the ship up to be level and would have made it much easier to handle. So why didn't they do that? Nobody knows. But it's worth reading. I give it 4 stars. There's no great book on the Bismarck. Bismarck, The Final Days of Germany's Greatest Battleship, 4 stars. It's an interesting read.